Welcome to Folding Towels, a podcast for massage therapists with Jackie and David. If you are enjoying our episodes and want to support the production, consider buying us a coffee. Your contributions help us bring you more insightful discussions and expert interviews. Follow the link in the show notes or visit buymeacoffee.com/Folding Towels podcast to contribute, and thank you for your support.
Hello, everybody. Guess what? You are listening to the Folding Towels podcast. You knew that, though, I'm pretty sure. It is me, Jackie. I'm here with David, and I'm feeling a little bit crazy today. David and I have been recording all morning. Hello, David.
Hey, Jackie. We've been having fun today.
We've been having quite a laugh, quite a giggle. So, yeah.
This is like our little buddy session, as well as recording useful information for you. We have a bit of catch up on life.
Yes.
Fun fact: we have been recording this morning with Gail Wood for the Massage Spa and Success Summit, which will be coming. Information about that will be coming out soon. And the topic that we were talking about was loneliness and isolation in massage therapy. So very relevant to one of the reasons why we catch up on a regular basis, to have a chit chat and say, how you doing?
Absolutely. Yes. And I do love to harass David a little bit and send him a few memes, and he sends me some reels. And
Yeah.
I was like, David, what does this mean? What are these people talking about?
And
It's
you're
like
up on pop culture where I am not. Like, what is this, Jackie? It's a speech that DT gave. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that.
Yeah. Yes, we complement each other very well.
Yeah. Hey, we've got something exciting to talk about, Jackie.
We do.
Yeah, the 26th of October. What is happening?
Oh, we're going over to Melbourne.
Melbourne.
We will be in New Melbourne. We will be there soon, don't worry.
Yes. Hey, what does Melbourne mean? You know how like Los Angeles is a city of angels?
Oh,
Ah,
yeah, I have no idea.
yeah,
Does
neither
it mean
do I.
something?
Possibly
Oh.
does.
I don't know. If you know that, let us know. I don't know. It could. There are a lot of Indigenous names of cities around Australia. Like there's a very high number, don't you think? Especially if you
Yes.
go to like Queensland, New South Wales, and
Certainly those two, it is very prevalent to use
yeah.
Indigenous names. Adelaide was a bit too whitey white, and rejected a lot of those things. We're trying to bring some things back posthumously, but
Because we're a bit posh, David.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
we were named after Queen Adelaide, I think.
Yeah, well, I've just quickly looked up the meaning of Melbourne. The meaning of the name Melbourne is mill stream, derived from the Old English words milen, mill, and burner, stream. And this was the name given to the Australian city in honour of William Lamb, the second Viscount of Melbourne, and his family's ancestral home in Derbyshire, which
Oh,
was
how
itself named for a
interesting.
mill on a stream. There we go.
Interesting.
Officially named in 1837.
Wow. Well, we are heading over to Melbourne in October, late October, for the Soft Tissue Congress from the lovely folks at MIMT.
Yes, Melbourne Institute of Massage and Myotherapy.
There's too many acronyms. They are absolutely amazing over there, and we have chatted with them a few times online. And we had our interview with Kevin. That is around. I think it's an 80s or a 90s number. Do you remember what number that is, David?
Just looking that up for you now. You put me on the spot.
Sorry, you usually know these things. He was fantastic to talk to. He was such an interesting person, and I cannot wait to meet him in real life.
Check out episode 93.
93, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But yes, the Soft Tissue Congress, 26th of October, Melbourne Institute of Massage and Myotherapy. We are going over for a live Q&A session, but there are people other than us who are attending with their skills and knowledge, like the lovely Sarah Name from BFT talking about exercise prescription, Kylie Hicks, a former guest of our show, a chronic pain clinician, Alicia Crook from the Health Leader Co., who is a business coach and mentor. So $250 to attend. Head to mimt.edu.au. For $250, you are buying nearly half of your CPE credits for the year.
That's not too bad.
I think it's very good.
And you get to hang out with us.
You can see us. Come and say hello.
Yeah. It is going to be a fantastic day. Everyone is very excited about it, and genuinely, we're going to have a lot of fun.
We
cannot
are
wait.
going to have fun.
We are. We will make sure you are having fun.
Yes. Ask a curly question, we'll get Jackie to answer it.
Oh my God, please
Yeah.
no.
I'll duck for cover.
Look, if you are coming along and you're going to be sitting in on the Q&A session, please have a little think about who is your favorite superhero, because
Yes.
you might just get asked.
And who is your favorite podcast host?
Oh, it's you, David. 100%.
It's Dr. Carl.
I'm very upset now that you didn't say it was me. Just joking, just joking.
26th of October, 2025. Book your tickets online.
Yeah.
We have a topic that is going to make everyone cringe today because we
No.
don't like talking about tax. We're talking about tax, Jackie. Specifically, GST.
That's right. We are talking about the goods and services tax, the GST, and this is a conversation that is very much Australia dependent. So, I mean, please, if you are elsewhere in the world, please keep listening because this will be very interesting. We're not going to make it horrible and boring. There's a lot of facts that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you are in another country, the goods and services tax that we're talking about is just relevant to Australia.
Yeah. Hey, here's a quote from the past for you, Jackie. As long as I'm treasurer, there will never ever be a GST.
Oh, who said that? I can't remember.
John Howard, who became the Prime Minister and introduced the GST.
He's the one that did the GST. Yes. Well, we know what happens with politicians, don't we?
As long as I'm the treasurer, there will not be a GST.
Right. Right.
Yep. Anyway, okay. I was working in a hardware store when the GST came in.
Really?
And prior to that, there was a wholesales tax system. And I remember when because we still had those little stickers that you stuck on products for how much you had to pay, and you'd have the little sticker gun as you went through all the packets of screws and things. And you'd sit there with your tax table, and a packet of screws might have 22% wholesale tax on it, and then a power tool might be 17.5, and this had 33%, that had 70%, that had 5%. And you'd get all the things that needed to be labeled, pull out the tax tables, adjust the prices, because everything had a different level of tax on it. That was complicated. And when GST was introduced in 2000, which was also a time when businesses were encouraged to move across to digital or electronic point of sales systems, just adding 10% on is such a simple thing compared to what it used to be.
Can I say, David, can I tell people how old I am?
You can.
My first job, you're not going to get a number.
Did we have decimal currency when you were born?
Yes. My first job while I was still in high school was at Coles. I was what you call in Australia, a checkout chick. And I was actually telling my daughter this, my 14-year-old daughter this the other day, that when I started there, this was before Sunday trading was introduced. They were talking about introducing Sunday trading when I worked at this particular job, and it didn't come in until the year after I'd already left. And I remember that this is before the barcodes were set up. So you know how now you scan the barcode over a swipey thing? Yeah, and it gives you all the information. You get a picture now, you get everything on the screen. This is well before this. So we actually, when I first started, I learnt to key in the barcodes because there
Yeah.
was no swipey thing.
Yes. They
Yeah.
used to have competitions for checkout operators to see who could put, say, 10 items through the fastest and the most
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah. I can almost remember the barcode. The packaging and everything has changed now, but the it used to, and this is pre-plastic for milk.
Hmm.
Everything was cardboard cartons for milk still.
Yeah.
I can almost remember the barcode for like the most popular milks because that was one of the products that we practically memorized the barcodes because they were
Mm.
just like you'd get 10, 20 an hour. Like it was just insane how much milk you sold. Um, so yeah, but and you would literally, pick up the product with the left hand, key with the right hand, all the numbers, and you wouldn't even look at the keypad. And that's what I was explaining to my daughter about how we have these different skills because she's
Hmm.
learning how to touch type
Yeah.
at the moment. And we started talking about that. And I said to her, "Oh my God, I used to have this job and the little number keypad on the side of your computer. I
Mm.
used to be able to do that without looking at the bloody thing." It was like I was quite proud of that.
Yeah, I made this mistake one day when I jumped on the till when one of the operators took a toilet break, and I'd used the till a few times, but it wasn't my primary job. And I had to process a refund. You'd turn the key on the till, which would then put the till into this negative mode,
Hmm.
except I put it onto the wrong setting.
Oh.
And I didn't turn it back. So every transaction after that was going through on this weird setting. And at the end of the day, when they ran the numbers, like, oh my God, like what is wrong? And they had to go back. They print out the receipt, which is like 10 meters long. They're going through it line by
Yes.
line and having to re-key everything in. And I was not very popular that
Yes.
day.
Yes. I remember
Sorry.
all of that. Oh my
Why did you
gosh.
ask for help? Because I actually thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't think I was doing the wrong thing.
You didn't realize that you'd done it wrong.
No, I did not.
Yeah. And nobody else knew either.
And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. So funny.
Yes. So let's talk about tax.
Okay, if we have to.
Yeah. We've been avoiding it, just like some people out there who are trying to avoid registering for GST.
Okay, let's start with, right, in Australia, as you said, GST was introduced in the year 2000 and it was basically to replace I don't remember this, but the old tax system.
Yeah.
And it was, like you said, it's basically to modernize it and sort of bring us up in line.
And make it easier.
Yeah. And so I didn't know this, David, but there are actually 140 countries across the planet that
Mm.
have GST.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just looked this up a little while ago, but apparently India has the highest rate at 28%,
Mm.
and then Argentina, and I think you said Spain also has 27%.
Mm.
And then the UK and France are both at 20%. Singapore is at 7%. And you
Yeah.
said somebody is at 5%.
Yeah, Canada.
That's right. Canada is at 5%.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but with the GST, there's a whole bunch of things which are not so that are exempt from GST, and we're going to
Mm,
go into that in a little bit in the future. I know it's
yeah.
a bane of contention for massage therapists as well. Um, but across all the things that Australians purchase for goods and services, only 47% of those things actually attract GST.
Yeah. So that was something that I didn't know. I thought it was a lot higher. I would have said it would be 60 to 70%.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot higher as well. I thought it was a
Mm,
handful of things which were
yeah.
left out, but no, 53% of the things that we buy don't attract GST.
Yeah.
Not
I,
just
I
buy, but spend
assume
money on.
I assume that covers pretty much everything we're spending money on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So, to make it really simple for people, because I know GST can be a little overwhelming, if you have a massage and the base price is $100, you add 10% GST, making the total $110 that
Hmm.
you are either spending as a client or collecting as the therapist.
Yep.
You collect that $10 from every appointment, and then once a quarter, you hand it back over to the government. Basically,
Mm,
is what happens
yeah.
as a massage therapist, and obviously that works in other businesses. So any money that you spend retail, they're collecting 10% of the appropriate funds, and then every quarter sending it back off to the government.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's correct. And that money, the GST it is distributed to the states. That's where the state government gets their income from, in addition to other sources of Commonwealth allocated money, and it's put towards state-funded things like conservation parks, hospitals, schools, roads, all those types of things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the GST is being used to pay for things that we all use on a daily basis as part of living in an egalitarian society.
Mm. And in Australia, the GST rate is currently 10%, and it's
Yeah.
been 10% the whole time, I believe.
It has. It has been 10% the entire time. Every time that someone talks about increasing the GST, it'll be brought up to say, hey, we're not charging enough tax. Other countries are charging more. Inflation means that we should be charging more. It's quickly hushed because it is an election killing thing for any government to charge more taxes.
I do remember vaguely when it came in, and that like there was so much debate over this. Like it was just insane. People were like, "No, I don't want it. Yes, it'll be great." And even the number, I know 7% was floated around, or 7 or 8%
Mm,
was floated for a while.
yeah,
It was such a big conversation when it happened.
yeah. Yeah, 10% is just really easy to calculate. And if
Yeah.
your figure was $121, then you add 10% on, that's just $12.10. But if it was a 7% amount, I can't even think about what that would be off the top of my head. Moving a decimal point is just simpler.
It is. It is. It's quite easy to work out. Yeah.
Mm,
So currently the GST threshold is 75,000 per annum, and it
yeah.
is business turnover. It's not profit. It's not your salary. It's if as a business owner, it's your turnover.
Yes.
So originally, and I did not know this, originally the threshold was 40,000.
Yeah, correct.
Do you know when it went up to 75, David?
No, I don't remember, but I do remember when I was paying GST back when it was $40,000. The first time I held an
Oh,
ABN was in 2002.
right.
Mm,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. I had small children then and was working in retail, so I do not remember that bit.
I got a massive tax bill.
Mm.
I paid my GST with a great deal of pride, because I had put the money. I was new to being self-employed, and when I've gone to my accountant for the end of the year, he said, "And your tax bill is $7,000." I said, "But I've paid GST." He goes, "No, no, no. This is income tax. You're being charged on your income tax." And I
Oh.
was like, "Oh, I didn't put aside money for my income tax."
Oh, so you got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm already paying tax. Do I have to pay more tax? Yes, you have to pay more tax.
I
Like,
know.
oh, jeepers, so much money that I make just goes straight out the door in taxes.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I found it very confusing, but I loved how my accountant explained it to me. And she's like, you just take 10% of everything you are earning, put
Hmm.
it in another bank account.
Yeah.
Every 3 months, you give that to them.
Yeah.
Like that's not your money
No,
at all.
it
You
never
just,
was.
yeah,
You are an agent for the Australian, putting the money on their behalf.
yes.
You are the
Yeah.
tax collector.
I'm like, I think I should get some commission on this actually.
I'm gonna break your kneecaps if you don't pay my tax.
All right. Walk us through some exemptions and some controversies, David, because there are a few of
Yeah.
these. Hit
Yeah.
us with it.
So as I said before, only 47% of Australian consumption attracts GST. So 53% is GST free. And some industries lobbied really, really hard. So part of that was, oh, well, what should we be paying tax on? We shouldn't have to pay tax on essentials. So fresh food, for example, a fresh tomato doesn't attract GST, but the moment it has been processed and put into a tin as a tin of peeled tomatoes, it is now a good. and that attracts GST. So essential health services are also free of GST. So if you go to the physiotherapist, the chiropractor, you don't pay GST. But massage is not considered that essential health service, and so a massage therapist with a turnover exceeding $75,000 per year must then charge GST. And then you get some people who are a bit bipolar in their industries. And so naturopaths are often nutritionists, nutritionists are often naturopaths. So one of those people, if they are seeing someone for nutrition advice, there's no GST on the nutrition component. But the moment it becomes a naturopathy consultation, they charge GST. And so having a good system in place and knowing when to charge GST and when not to is really important. And likewise, when you buy things, anything that is in Australia with a business with a turnover exceeding $75,000 should have GST on it. I recently bought some herbal teas, for example, and I got my tax invoice, no GST, because it's a home-based business. It's something that somebody does on the side. There's no GST charged on that. So you need to be aware of what your of the GST that you are paying out on as well. And this is one of the things where when I'm doing my own bookkeeping, I just have this view that wouldn't it be simple if nothing was exempt? Everything just has the tax applied evenly. There's some people yelling at me right now going, no, we shouldn't be paying tax. It
Look,
would just
this
be
is
simple if there was only one rule and it was applied consistently.
this is a very multifaceted conversation. There are people that have very strong opinions about this. So
Yes.
these are just yours and my opinions. But yeah, like I mean, there's so many different options because you're right, and fresh food is not GST applicable, and then you've got things like water. Like, so if
Mm,
you are paying water for your house that you live in, which is everybody really, um, that's not, there's no GST on that. So there are a whole host of things. And probably as soon as I mention it, people will go, oh my God, yes, I remember this. But talking about hygiene products as well.
yes,
So pads and
correct.
tampons, like, I don't even know if we are still paying GST on that, but I know there
No, not
was a
anymore.
huge. Are we not? Okay,
Not
that's
anymore.
nice.
It was about 5 years ago, or maybe it was longer that it was taken off. They were talking about the period tax.
Yeah. I
Mm,
think we had that conversation from day one.
yeah,
Like it just was ongoing the whole time.
yeah,
Every women's groups and all sorts of different groups were saying it should not be like it is not. We don't have a choice in this. This is
yeah.
an
It's not optional.
essential item that we need, which I
Hmm.
100% agree with. But like you said, David, if you are doing your accounting, it's so much easier just to have this rate for everything.
Mm,
Like, and it is a little like my expenses are not super high. Like, I'm just a very small business, but it is annoying having to go, oh shit, is that one GST? Like, I have to go back and check
yeah.
the invoice and
Especially if you purchase things from overseas, or even a
yeah,
software subscription from overseas may or may not have a GST component to it. Um, and for example, if you run Google Ads, the Google Ads attract GST, and Google is paying GST to the Australian government. But if you run Facebook ads, because Facebook is registered in Ireland, I think it is, there's no GST agreement with Australia, so there's no GST paid on that.
wow, okay, I had no idea.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so some countries have a GST agreement with Australia, say, hey, this is Australian money, there should be taxes paid on it, so give us some money, please. Even if you're buying things from AliExpress now, there is GST paid on those things,
Yeah.
as previously there wasn't.
I might be skipping ahead with this. I don't know, but my personal opinion is that I'm fine, I guess, with the 10% tax,
Mm,
but I think the threshold should be increased. But that also creates problems because if you remember back to that first year or so of COVID back in 2020, 2021, we had some issues, and well, actually, this is still ongoing. I shouldn't limit it to COVID, but there are business things like grants and
Mm,
help that you can get if you are registered for GST.
yes.
As micro businesses, which is, a single person, one or two operators, a really small turnover, like we're not necessarily registered for GST. So we
Mm.
can't get access to some of these government, um, oh,
Yeah, in the eyes of the tax office, they're considering that a business with a turnover under $75,000 is still really just a hobby. And
mm,
so they're not expecting you to pay tax, in their eyes, contributing to the economy. And so those financial assistances just aren't made available to you unless you're a tax-paying business.
yeah.
It's
I
I don't think there's an easy answer to that one.
no, yeah. It's definitely complicated. And I did not really understand a lot of this until the last couple of years.
Mm.
When I myself registered for GST about 2 years or so ago, like 18 months,
Yeah,
2 years ago.
congratulations.
Yay!
You
I'm a
made it.
grown up.
Yeah. Welcome to taxes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But I honestly, after thinking about it for, 18 months or so, I do think that the threshold should probably be increased a little bit, even just
Mm.
to like 90 or 95,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that would take a lot of strain off
Yeah.
small businesses. And again, probably skipping ahead, but that's actually my opinion. I don't really care if we have everything or some things
Mm.
covered, but I don't know. It
Yeah.
is such
Yeah.
a complex thing, really.
Yeah. It comes as a bit of, as a surprise. So I registered for GST knowing that I wanted to exceed that threshold number anyway. So I might as well get used to paying tax now. So if
Okay.
you have been a business who has not been budgeting for because you haven't needed to pay GST, and then one day you tick over to $75,001,
Hmm.
well, suddenly 10%, well, it's not quite 10%, I'll explain that later, of your business income just disappears and goes out the door. So you need to be adding that through a price increase
Yeah.
onto your base. And really, it doesn't make sense with that $75,000 threshold. It doesn't make sense to be registered for GST unless you're hitting more like $90,000 a year just to pay that tax component and the expenses associated with it.
Well, especially for a small business, like you might have a whole bunch of expenses that you have to pay. You're
Mm,
paying out for your booking software, for your rent, for your room, insurance, all those sorts of things. It could be anywhere from 7 or 8 thousand up to 15,000 a year
yeah,
easily. Like, and
which
so
is
75K income
yeah.
is not a lot when you factor that in.
So your take home might only be $60,000 at best at this point,
Yeah.
which as a part-time therapist, if you're not needing it as your primary source of income, totally valid.
Yeah.
If you're in a two-income house, and you're meeting all your expenses and you're putting money aside for holidays and you've got savings, blah, 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 60 grand a year or less might be absolutely enough to survive on. But if it is your sole source of income,
Mm.
and particularly as a single therapist, as a single parent who may also be the sole source of income, and you need to pay all of those things by yourself on your one income, 60 grand is going to be hard.
That's not a lot of money anymore.
Yep.
And we were just talking about this before. I'm going to bring up inflation, David.
Yes.
Neither of us really understand inflation, but when you consider how everything rises every year, like your insurance goes up, your water bill
Yep.
goes up, your rent for your room goes up, even if it's only like a couple of $100 a year, like
Mm.
everything increases.
Yeah.
60 grand is not a lot of money anymore. It
No,
really
no, it is
isn't.
not.
No.
Yeah, and for some of those increases, so many massage therapists feel guilty when they put up their price by $5. I got my insurance renewal and it had gone up by 30%. It's like it's just the way it is.
Hmm.
No, no, sorry. This is your bill for the year. And you go, what? It's gone up by 30%. What were they thinking? That's not inflation. It just has. It came with an explainer that insurance companies had paid out $360 billion in claims in the last 12 months because of natural disasters around Australia. Well, that money has to come from somewhere, and it's from inflated figures. And
Yeah.
likewise with your business, when your costs go up, those costs have to be met from something, and those additional costs need to be met by a price increase.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Insurance is such a very interesting topic to talk about. We won't talk about it here, but if you look at statistics with insurance, you can tell what's actually happening in the real world, like
Yes.
bushfires, floods,
Yeah.
all those sorts of things.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic.
The correlation between lung cancer and smoking was not identified by doctors. It was identified by insurance companies having to make
Yes.
out health claims. Climate change, whether you are a climate change skeptic or not, insurance companies identified changes in payouts due to climatic
Yep.
conditions, and they were talking about it long before science was. Oil and particulate matter coming from exhaust, all those types of things. It's our insurers with their long-term data have recognized trends and said, whoa, there's some things happening. So if we put a price on those things, maybe you'll stop doing those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Such an interesting topic, which we will not
Yeah.
talk about today.
So your doctor who was saying, why don't you start smoking because it's good for colitis? The insurance company is saying, no, you should not be smoking because you'll just die from lung cancer statistically.
That's it. Yes.
Uh,
Uh, so, David, you've got here on my little slip of paper, there are
yeah.
some benefits of being GST registered.
Yeah,
Please tell us.
one of the good things is that if you buy a good or a service, let's say it's your bookkeeper, let's say it's new towels or laundry service, even your rent, there's GST charged on those things charged to you. And the good thing about GST is it's only the last person in the line who actually has to pay that GST amount. So in the scheme of doing your business, if you have paid GST to somebody else and then you collect GST, those two things balance out. So for example, you've charged the 10% on your massage, but you've also been charged 10% on your room rent. That $100 that you've paid in GST will offset, say, the $900 that you're about to pay in GST. Now you only owe 800. So any goods or products that you're buying uh, kind of balance out. And so it means that the impact to your bottom line is not going to be the full 10%. It's more likely to be 7 or 8%. So if you're charging that 10%, you're getting a little bonus there that you get to keep.
That is actually something that I had to I struggled with a little bit the first couple of times that I put my BAS through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a little bit hard to get your head around, but when you
Mm.
go, if you're doing it yourself, you go in and you put in the amount. I can't, and gosh, the tax office doesn't like to say anything in plain English, so
No,
it's
they do not.
weirded
Oh, they're
very
getting better. There's still some room for improvement.
some. But yeah,
A lot,
you
okay.
basically put in all the money that you've earned, and you put in the 10% amount, and you're putting in all those figures, and then you are figuring out, okay, how much have I actually paid out
Yeah.
in GST as well, in those invoices, your room rent, any bills that you have, all that sort of stuff. And then yeah, and you calculate what the difference is, and that's the amount that you actually pay.
Mm.
So you're absolutely right. You're not always paying the full 10%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the big thing about, because we see it in the Facebook groups frequently by therapists who are saying it doesn't make sense for me to pay GST. So when I'm approaching that threshold, I just close my books for the year and I go on holiday.
Mm.
As I said before, that 60 grand or whatever it is that's left over that you keep, if you can live off that and you've got quality of life, good, good. That absolutely totally fine, totally valid. But off that 60 grand, if you are struggling to put your kids through school and you've had to make some decisions about moving house so you can have cheaper rent because you can't afford to live and now you're eating beans on toast and that's all you can afford, you're shooting yourself in the foot by not registering for GST. Once you've registered, you open up your ability to earn, and you might now be earning 95. You might now be earning 110,000 a year in turnover and getting to
Yeah.
keep that much larger portion as your livable wage.
Absolutely. Mindset is really important with this because we do kind of have this fear, as we've said, like a lot of us are very small earners. We're micro businesses, really.
Mm,
Like we have to stop thinking that that we have this fear around collecting GST. It's just something extra. It's one extra thing that you have to do. And really, all you have to do is, if you were currently, you know, charging your clients $100 for that hour massage, maybe you need to put your price up to 110. You probably needed to anyway.
mm,
And all you do is you just take that extra 10% and you chuck it in a separate bank account and
correct.
it sits there. It's not yours. You don't touch it. That belongs to the government. And you should be doing that for tax anyway. You should be
Mm,
taking whatever the amount is, whether it's 5%, 10% of every massage and popping that into a bank account to pay
yep.
your tax. Um,
And while you're there, do your super as well.
yes.
So, but this is all that I'm left over, holding a little crumb.
I know. I have $1 left each week.
Good,
Yes,
you've got a
I
dollar
know.
left. You're not in the red.
I know. But yeah, and absolutely starting with that mindset is really important because that was a hard thing for me. Those first couple of times, it was getting used to doing it, having all of the spreadsheets correct and everything. And I actually made a mistake. I had to my When I went to do my tax, my accountant was like, "Oh, you've actually not counted something, like the numbers are not adding up here." And it was a significant amount. And I'd like forgotten something important that I just had not, like income that had come in from somewhere else, and I just completely forgotten about it. And she's like, "It's okay. We can do a little thing as like accounting magic that we can go in and make an amendment or something they call it."
Mm,
And
so you
yeah,
just
so
journal it.
yeah,
You do a
yeah.
journal entry.
So it's been an interesting journey, David, but I would 100% say that mindset is so important with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Like your business has grown up. That moment you hit the threshold, your business has grown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good. And
yeah.
like another important thing as well to remember is get yourself a good accountant to help
Yep.
you. They can explain it to you and they can help you put it through the first few times. And you know what? Go with your little bit of paper and write down all the steps so that you can then go look at it later and because it's 3 months later, you have to do it the next
Mm,
time. And by then you'll forget. Or get a bookkeeper to help you,
yeah, or
pay
both.
somebody or both.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And when you're choosing that support team, some accountants are a bit like surgeons. You know how surgeons got a particular personality? It's like, oh, okay, we're just going to chop your leg off. When should we schedule that? You need to do what? They're just going to chop your leg off. I've done this 100 times before. Just trust me on this one. Like, why do you need to chop my leg off? Um, you need an accountant that you can have a good conversational relationship
Yeah,
with, that if you have questions, they're able to answer those questions in a way that you're able to understand. We've all got different learning styles.
yeah,
They're not going to treat you like an idiot. They're not just going to make rash decisions or tell you that you're wrong about stuff. They need to act as that bit of a coach to hold your hand and you walk you through, because money stuff is hard. It's not learned. It's not passed down from one generation to another. Money stuff is hard.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I found my accountant invaluable, and I know a lot of people are sitting there going, "Oh, it's so hard to find a good accountant. I don't know which bookkeeper." Go and interview them.
Yes.
Like, get on their websites, check them out, spend a half a day and just look at all the websites because you can ask in the groups, but why do I want an accountant that's not in South Australia? I don't. I
Mm.
want somebody fairly local. I
Yeah.
don't want someone that works in, Cairns. Like, it's just too far away.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
um, David, what do you think is the biggest myth that you hear about GST, specifically about massage therapists or from massage therapists?
Oh, look,
What do you reckon?
really, it's that thing of trying to dodge the taxes, and you don't need
Mm,
to pay it, and it's not worth it unless you earn a particular amount and over. If massage is your primary source of income, you need to register for GST so you can unleash your earning potential.
yeah,
You don't need to hide from tax. We should all pay tax, just not any more than we should or any sooner than we ought to.
absolutely. That is such a good point. And that's what your accountant is meant to help you with.
Yep,
Yeah. You only
yep.
need to pay the amount you need to pay and not a dollar more. I think it is good to imagine if every time you pay your tax, I find this helps for me, that money is going to good uses. Like you said,
Yes.
all of that money goes to, roads and infrastructure, our hospitals. It's paying our nurses and our doctors and,
Hmm.
all these other things. And I really try to imagine kind of that circle of, money changing hands.
Yep.
Yeah, so I find that has really helped me a lot because a few years ago, before, in the couple of years before I was registered for GST, I did have
Mm.
that terrible mindset of, oh, I don't want to do this. It's so confusing. I don't
Yep.
understand it. And like, I'm not super great with money. I'm okay, but when it comes to taxes, like doing
Mm.
my taxes every year used to freak me out. I'd have a panic attack every year.
Yep.
So adding GST to that mix was just terrifying. But
Yeah.
I did it. I have a great accountant and she helped me through it. And she helps me, she does my tax every year and she's amazing. I love her. And yeah, I think you just sometimes have to put on your big girl pants
Mm.
and just bite the bullet and really do it. Yeah.
I get really cross with people who brag about their tax evasion.
Oh,
Just from a point where if you are avoiding paying tax, that means that the rest of us who do pay tax have to pay more. And coming back to
yeah.
our conversation with Anna Mitchell from that accounting stuff,
Yeah.
just to make the point, there's a big difference between tax minimization and tax evasion.
Mm-hmm.
Tax minimization, with a good accountant, you can minimize your tax paid. That is utilizing the rules, the legal rules, to pay less tax.
Yeah.
That is within the law, it is within your rights, and you should be doing that because you shouldn't pay any more than you absolutely have to. But
Mm-hmm.
tax evasion is breaking the law. That is hiding money, and
Yeah.
it is not a good thing.
No, you don't want to do
As
that.
there are big penalties, including prison time for those who evade tax.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Nobody wants to go to jail. Not really.
No.
Well, I think we
Yes.
have kind of covered most of the things about GST that we can.
Yes. I think that's enough tax talk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Look, it doesn't have to be super hard. And I think we've covered some of the really important points.
Yep.
Um,
Before you
yeah.
rush out and register for GST because Jackie and David told you that maybe it's a good idea, do have a chat with your accountant.
Look at your numbers.
Plan for
Know
it.
know what your income is, know what your business is earning, know what your expenses are. You need to do that first, 100%.
This episode should be taken as a general nature. It is not a financial something or other, something or other.
No,
Discretion,
no.
viewers' discretion is required.
Yeah. Well, like we could have 100, 200 therapists in a room and everybody's situation is going to be different. So
Yeah.
you have to work out what is right for you. Like, and even yours and my situation, even though we're both solo practitioners,
Mm.
and you are not employing anyone at the moment, and I have
No,
never employed anyone, um, you actually have a company and
I do.
I do not. And so our tax needs are very different,
Mm.
even just for that. And we have other things in common. We're both married, our partners work, we have kids roughly the same age. So we actually have completely different tax needs, even though we have all those other things in common.
Yep.
So yeah, every situation is going to be so different. So
Yes.
absolutely, please get a really good accountant, and a bookkeeper as well, probably.
Yeah. Just keep in mind that the different professions have different purposes. Accountants don't like doing bookkeeping stuff, which is why they'll charge you exorbitant amounts of money to do the basic grunt work. Bookkeepers love bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And just as a general number, my bookkeeper charges me something like $88 per hour to do bookkeeping things, whereas the accountant is more like $230 plus GST
Yeah.
an hour. It's not worth my while getting him to do my basic stuff. So the bookkeeper goes through the data that I've entered, and she lodges my BAS for me so that I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% correct. They do different jobs, and it depends on what you want the person to do. And a lot of bookkeepers are very, very good and can give you all the ins and outs and tell you how this stuff all works. And then you can go off to your accountant and go, please lodge my tax for me, and done. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. This is right. Okay, just a reminder, this has been advice of a general nature. Your circumstances may differ, blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much. If you have enjoyed this episode, we have got a back catalogue of over 100 episodes. You can find them by looking in your favorite podcasting app. Please leave us a rating and/or a review, especially if you are using Apple Podcasts, where you can leave a written review. That would be amazing. It does help us to be found by other massage therapists just like you. You can find us on the socials, Instagram, Facebook. We have a website, foldingtailspodcast.com.au, with a transcript of many, but not all, of our episodes.
That's true.
Come join us in Melbourne on the 26th of October, the Melbourne Institute for Massage and Myotherapy Soft Tissue Congress 2025.
So excited to be over there in Melbourne with you, David, and excited to be here talking to you on the interwebs as well,
Yes,
David.
it's been
Thank
fun.
you. It has been fun, and we hope that this hasn't been a really painful episode talking about tax.
Yes.
It's all good. Thanks, David. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for being here as you usually are. Love chatting with you.
See you in the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.